Actually, my name is Maxwell Opara. I started working with the chief as a student activist. In fact, when we normally come from Enugu to Abuja, when we come to see High Chief, he will listen to you. And if your own argument is superior to his own, Chief will surrender. You don't want to know whether you're a student, where you're coming from. And as a lawyer, I've been working with him. He brought me into that communication as one of the legal analysts. And anytime we really agree, we normally disagree in issues. But after my own submission, he will ask me, what is their reasoning? Maxwell, what is their reasoning for arising to this? And if I said, okay, I answer off. On so many, because he's not a lawyer, but when it comes to constitutional issue, Chief would like to argue with you. And he said, look at what, immediately you bring another superior argument, Chief will surrender. In fact, yesterday I was down in spirit while trying to make up, trying to see how Nigeria, only for me to open my WhatsApp, I saw what Professor Chiradinkalu sent to me, that Chief is no more. I said, please, I don't need that joke now, I'm annoyed. He said, no, it's true. Until I started seeing it, I started making calls, and I confirmed that it's true. We don't have anything to say than to say, may his soul rest in peace. And we also plead with this government that just came up yesterday. You know what High Chief Raymond Dokpesi stand for? The only good thing you can do to Chief is to make sure that all those good Nigeria he aspired for, you achieve it. That is the only thing we are asking the new government. That's the only thing that will help High Chief Raymond Dokpesi to rest in peace. I also sympathize with the entire that family and the immediate family. Something that has a beginning must have an end. My wife said, no, Chief, so young. I said, it's not how far, it's how well. It's 71 years of fulfillment, 71 years of impartment, 71 years of resourcefulness, 71 years of truth. So that's the much I have to say. Thank you very much.
Great shock that we at Luxterra have received the news of the passing of my dear friend. We have known since 2001, and we have been close friends since then. And I spoke to him less than 2 weeks ago, about 10 days ago. I communicated with him because we marked 10 years of the chapel, Luxterra Chapel, and he has been a part of that chapel. He has been part of the of our progress, and we have aired our programs at AIT for the past 10 years by his generosity. And I have met so many people who have given testimony to how much he has touched their lives. I mean, he was a phenomenal person, really phenomenal human being. And I am happy that before his passing, a biography has either been concluded or is ongoing. So I'm very happy about that people can read about him, read his efforts in various areas of development in this country and emulate him. And his efforts to bring Nigerians together. I mean, he speaks of Bamanga Toko as his father, he speaks of Peter Odili as his brother, he speaks of, so from north to south and east and west, he made friends. And he was very consistent in many things, which is why we never saw him, like many Nigerian politicians, jumping from one political party to the other. He remained in PDP from the beginning to the end, meaning that is his belief. So I want to thank God for the life he lived. None of us was expecting to hear this, but I want to thank God for the life he lived. I happened to be the one that preached at his 60th birthday, and I preached at his 70th birthday, and I pleaded with him to slow down. Unfortunately, he walked until the end. But perhaps that's the calling he had from God, to walk every day of his life until the very end, for national development, for the development of communication in this country, for the freedom of the press, and to give Nigerians voice. I know that AIT, that communication, one of the few organizations in this country that has this corporate social responsibility, that people who are desperate can come to AIT and say, look, I want you to announce that I have this kidney problem or I have this heart problem, and they will just schedule a person and do it. I have actually supported some of them to get to AIT, whether here or in Lagos. So I'm grateful to God for the life he lived, and I can only pray that God will sustain this enterprise that he has spent his life putting together. I mean, the greatest honor we can do to Chief Dokpesi is to ensure that what he started does not go down. The greatest legacy that what we can do to honor him is to ensure that his family is well taken care of, to ensure that his enterprise, the dark communication, and all his subsidiaries, that we ensure that is sustained to the glory of God. So I want to commiserate with all the staff. I want to commiserate with the entire family, and pray that the good Lord whom he tried to serve, he tried to serve God to his best of his ability, will give him eternal rest and give all of you the joy, the peace beyond his life that you desire. Amen.
It's a difficult decision to come by. Very, very difficult, to reconcile that High Chief Raymond Dokpesi is no more. For me, it's difficult. I don't know how to say goodbye. I don't know how to say goodbye, because I believe he's still very much alive. I believe he's still very much with us. I have never seen, a friend, brother, uncle, father who has shown me so much love the way he did when he was alive. We quarreled the most, we settled the most. We are best of friends. They know, even in AIT. There is no way I cannot meet Ezomo in his bedroom, office, even when they are holding board meetings. I have that access to go in, grab him out, and tell him something I want to tell him. We've related very, very closely for donkey years, and come here to even write, leave a note on the condolence register is to me like tearing me apart with a blunt saw. I can't reconcile it. That's just the truth. But when things happen, you just got to appreciate God that no matter who we are, our final destination is death, and we'll be lowered to Mother Earth someday, sometime. And you don't know the time, because the family still saw him yesterday, woke up, watched television, was watching inauguration on TV and all that, only for him to go and say he wants to do exercise in his gym, and the rest is now history.
What will you remember him for?
Remember Ezomo for so many things. How many will I say? I will remember him as a man whose devotion to hard work, diligence, perseverance, resilience, and commitment is unparalleled. I remember when we went to Sierra Leone to set up the AIT in Sierra Leone. For 17 days, we were on our toes. None of us could sleep for 2 hours, because Ezomo will always be on the seat. We were signing documents, we were printing. He will go with us to business center. He will sit with us because he wanted that AIT to come on air. 2 weeks at that time, when Bai Koroma was the president of Sierra Leone, and he wanted to give them an alternative voice in Sierra Leone. And he struck it within 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, we got it right on air. So it's a man who does not believe that there's no road somewhere. If there is a mountain around anywhere, he say, let's go around the mountain. That is him. His sense of commitment is unparalleled. I have worked with him severally, as a friend, as a brother. Even though politically we disagree, but he would respect me for my views. He will always respect me for that. I don't want to even come to terms with the fact that he's no more, because I'm still seeing his image looming large in front of me. But God knows why at this time. May his soul, his generous soul, his gentle soul, his humanitarian soul rest in the hereafter. And I know God will grant him a perfect resting place. I know that.